Now, the Lib Dems today are talking about increasing what's known as the digital services tax, that tax on tech firms we were discussing with Rachel Reeves. Rachel Reeves said, she was answering quite carefully on whether or not they might change that tax. What did you make of what she had to say?
Well, I'm deeply concerned that the government may even be considering reducing the digital services tax, because this is a tax wielded on 20 of the largest online social media giants and search engines. And quite frankly, if the government is seriously talking about putting savage cuts in place that will affect disabled people, whilst also giving a tax handout to...
Exactly, and they're putting those savage cuts on the disabled, and they're not even getting a 5p bag tax for it.
They could have been exchanging this at an end of conference trade-off, try and get taxes for 5p bags. The irony is that the point they're making is absolutely reasonable, that we shouldn't be getting rid of the digital services tax just to be able to posture ourselves for an FTA with the Americans, when we should be looking to Europe, unironically, which is the funny thing that the Lib Dems keep banging on about, but you just cannot take the Lib Dems seriously since the coalition. I've been open, I think, that in the wake of this breaking down of the relationship with America, we should be openly talking about rejoining the European Union.
We are awash in sea, and we need any port at this point.
Musk and Zuckerberg and other US tech barons, then quite frankly, I think the Labour government are at real risk of losing their moral compass.
For the Lib Dems to be suggesting that you should triple this tax from 2% on those firms to 6% at a time when actually businesses, large and small, many of them are having a very hard time, aren't you going to risk making the UK becoming
Whoa. Businesses large and small having a hard time. I can be sympathetic to the idea that small businesses are having a hard time right now. The idea that large businesses who are seeing record profits, especially the bloody tech giants who make money hand over fist and squirrel it away in their holding accounts in fucking Ireland, right? Don't try and tell me that the tech giants that would be targeted by these taxes are going to be under the cosh or going to be hard done by.
Well, the digital services tax is only put on around 20 of the largest online social media and search engine giants. It doesn't affect small startups or small tech companies at all. You have to have at least 500 million in revenue to be affected by this tax. And we have one of the lowest taxes, digital services taxes, of any other country. Some other countries have it as high as 7.5%. And we think that this is just one example of where the government could raise more revenue by...
Why is it 7.5%? Why is it as low as that? I don't mind having exemptions for small companies and startups or whatever, they're fine. But if you're a fucking Zuckerberg, why are we asking you nicely to pay 7? Or that's the highest end is 7.5%. So what are we charging? 3% or something?
2%. The proposed tax is 2%, and that's what Labour think they might be cutting to try and get a free trade agreement with the USA.
2%. 2%. Literally, why not just let Zuckerberg fuck everyone's wife?
Exactly. Like, the point that Laura Koonsberg was trying to make there was that somehow I think it will be unattractive for the big tech giants to come to the UK. And I'm just like, well, they're already monopolies, but what they're going to do, just not trade in the UK.
The taxes on companies that are making billions and billions of pounds in profits, where it will make very little difference to them putting this tax up, but it will raise really valuable money to get our public services back on their feet.
But we know that Donald Trump in the White House is looking very, very carefully at where he's going to make it more expensive for countries to do business. If some change to the digital service tax makes a difference to that, if it could prevent him slapping very expensive and damaging tariffs on parts of the UK economy, might not that be worth it?
Well, I think that Donald Trump is an unreliable and unpredictable partner to the UK. And I don't think it's a good strategy for us just to sit and cower in the corner and hope that Donald Trump is nice to us. That is not a good strategy. What we need to be doing...
Jesus, Laura Koonsberg, you've just made it look like the Liberal Democrat had a backbone.
I mean, unironically, the Lib Dems are the people taking the lead on this,
What we need is someone to metaphorically man the barricades. And what we actually have is Ed Davey.
It's true. I mean, when our last bulwark against the American empire is Ed Davey saying, I think that he is an unreliable ally and we need to be looking towards a more constructive relationship. And I'm just like, no, tell the American empire to go shove itself. The Lib Dems have another good point, that there is a massive market on our front door that we should have access to and we should never have left, And in a world where things are going to be much more unstable. It's not just an unreliable partner, they're an actively malicious partner. American corporations are going to cannibalize UK democracy and our economy if they get the free trade agreement that they want. It's already having meetings, people like BlackRock with the current government. If we want to have like actual, as you say, economic nationalism, you know, things being done in the interest of British people and the British economy, then we have to do it with a partner that actually cares about our economy rather than what they can extract from it, you know, rather than just bullying us with tariffs and then probably not giving us a particularly beneficial FTA anyway. Just tell them to fuck off, literally, both in terms of geopolitics, in terms of foreign policy, because God knows that every single foreign policy decision we've taken alongside the US over the last 40 years has been terrible. And on top of that, economically, it's terrible for us as well. Just we need somebody who actually is more of an iconoclast than Ed Davey. And the closest thing we have to an iconoclast is Nigel Farage, who literally wants us to become America's bitch.
Who's way worse, But I mean, you're going about our foreign policy. Don't you want to get your legs blown off fighting Iran for Israel?
Literally.
Just a quick shout out to Cenk Uygur and all those dickheads. How's your Donald Trump is the candidate of peace? How's that working out for you? Is that going super well, is it, chaps? Brilliant, thanks.
Is showing strength, and which is the only language that Donald Trump understands. And we think there are two things we can do. One is to actually say, let's increase the digital services tax higher so that we can use that to protect our public services, which we need to strengthen in this country. But at the same time, let's also make sure that we're improving our trade relationship with the EU and having a better relationship to rip away the red tape that is holding back our small businesses and our high streets and make it easier for UK businesses to trade with Europe. We need, if we're going to have a deal with Donald Trump, we need to have other things on the table. We have to speak the language of strength. We can't just hope he's going to be nice to us.
But don't you also have to, in opposition, be in the real world of government, try to imagine what it's like if the White House is asking for a concession in one area
No,
in order
whoa,
to save
whoa,
the economy?
hang on a minute. No, the real world is that America fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's the only fucking fantasy world is the world of our establishment politicians who believe that Atlanticism is somehow like a divine right of our elected government, right? So it is a duty. That's a fantasy that you live in. Everybody else realizes that actually that is a decision that can be made and can be revoked at any time, and we can start looking towards something different, like Europe, like China, like literally anybody other than Donald Trump.
And it's not even a choice we get to make anymore, because like you say, we could have revoked it at any point and didn't. America now has. The decision has been made for us, so we have to look elsewhere. But you still got these fucking dickheads, like, pretending like the game hasn't changed. Whereas what Donald Trump has done is come along and like the pigeon, playing chess, has just knocked over the pieces and shat everywhere. And Keir Starmer's just like, oh, well, rock to king too. Like, why are you carrying on playing? The game's over.
The thing
There'll be a
is,
huge amount of
is that the current cabinet and a lot of the people at the top of the Labour Party is stacked with people from like the Britain America Project, right?
Yep.
And people from Five Eyes, and Keir Starmer himself was in the fucking Trilateral Commission, right? These people are just, it's full to the brim with, again, like ideological Atlanticists who, despite everything that's happening, no matter how bad it is for British people, the British economy, or the world at large, will sell us out to American interests.
If you look at countries like Canada and Mexico, they neighbour the USA. They have trade deals and they haven't escaped tariffs. And you can look at other leaders, particularly in Canada, other world leaders are talking tough and they are standing up to Donald Trump. And that's what we think. That's why we're calling on the government to have a better trade deal with the EU, to make it a priority to develop a customs union by 2030, which will help reduce the cost of business for small businesses here in the UK, and at the same time to increase the digital services tax to raise valuable money that could be used for defence or public services or anything else.
Hey there, if you enjoyed the video, make sure that you like and leave a comment. That helps the video out in the algorithm. If you subscribe and ring the bell, it'll let you know when I go live. I stream every day on YouTube and Twitch. You can also follow all of my socials down in the description. And if you want to support me in a more financial manner, there's a join button for membership. It's just 99p to be a member on YouTube, as well as a Patreon, and there's some merch there as well. And hopefully I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.